Hello folks, sad to say it, but this is the last destination on our, what would you call it, Atlantic-Appalachia Tour. But yeah, this is the last destination for now. But my goodness, it's pretty rainy. Hasn't been this rainy since Jim Thorpe, all that while ago. Here we are in a new region of Pennsylvania. This is sort of the gateway to western Pennsylvania, completely different from eastern Pennsylvania. And although you might know about a city called Pittsburgh, this isn't Pittsburgh. This is sort of a gateway town on your way to Pittsburgh. But the city itself is full of history and full of great things to see. Welcome to Altoona. Feeling I'm going to be pretty drenched by the end of this video, so the biggest challenge is to overcome the rain. Not get the lens of the camera too wet and not get myself too wet, although I don't mind. And as I've said in the past, rain does not deter us here at the Coverage Project. Snow does. Don't get me wrong, snow does. Rain, not so much. We can deal with rain. So obviously, the Keystone State, Pennsylvania is not a foreign place for us. We've been here, but this is a new part of Pennsylvania, like I said. This place, Altoona, is surrounded by all these mountains. And the surrounding area is almost known as what people joke and say and call Pennsyltucky. This rural part of Pennsylvania in between Philadelphia, in between Pittsburgh. Just this stretch of mountains where there's not much of a population. But there are certain working class and industrial cities, like Altoona, which has such a fun charm to it. As you can see, there's a ton of old buildings from the industrial age. This is no pompous yuppie city. This is a city full of industrial and working class grit. I think the rain even captures a little bit of the essence of Altoona. You wouldn't really expect it to be sunny here, with all the gloomy industry going on, of course. This is the picture scenario, where it's rainy. Not the cleanest city, but it sure has a lot of culture with it. But of course, naturally, that's what happens. This is the city that was known for connecting Philadelphia and Pittsburgh along stretches of railroad going through the center of the state. It's a nice picture to imagine this being a very railroad-centric industrial city. So of course, to talk about Altoona is to talk about the railroads. I mean, this is what really developed and really jump-started the city. So let's go check out the railroads that I'm talking about. Or at least let's see if we can find any trains. Who needs a tropical beach resort when you could just be in Altoona, Pennsylvania on this cold, rainy day with your feet soaking wet, but at the same time having this sense of exhilaration because you know you're on this great adventure. So it looks like we're here at the railroad. Let's get a better look. This tree is really obscuring the cool railroad view. Unfortunately, there's this metal grate thing, but we can figure out a way. Alright, so I have a good view enough. So as you can see, there's not just one railroad going through, it's this whole railroad complex. And if you can see in the distance, behind all these lights, there are actual trains still being in use. This railroad still functions to this day. Altoona, Pennsylvania is the railroad city. I don't think there's any better way to describe that simple phrase. Nestled in these mountains of Pennsylvania, Altoona simply would not be what it is right now if it wasn't for the railroad. However, I must add, nowadays, there's more to Altoona, Pennsylvania than just the railroad. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Nice. We found the Altoona clock. Oh, nice! Another bonus. Old abandoned Pennsylvania trains. I'm not even kidding. Everywhere you go in Altoona, there is some resemblance to trains. Some imagery on the walls, or trains that are just left out for display. And I'm just trying to go to another place, not affiliated with trains at all. So I'm on some state or US highway, but from here you can really see a whole scenery of the city, buildings, the houses, to even the mountains in the background. Serves as a wonderful picture. You've heard of Reese's, right? You know, the peanut butter cup? Well, in Altoona, it's not about Reese's. It's all about Boyer here. If you've heard of something called a Mellow Cup or a Clark Cup, well, people in Altoona will like you very much, because around these parts, that's what it's all about. Seriously, Reese's, you can forget about that here. In that factory store, you can actually go inside, and there's a little outlet store full of all their products. I think it's kind of funny how both Hershey and Boyer are located in the state of Pennsylvania. This state is almost like a chocolate hub. So let's take a look inside that building. Anytime I can go to a gas station and be lucky enough to find a Mellow Cup, I get super ecstatic. It's one of my favorite candies. I mean, I love candy. If you've seen the videos, you should know that by now, especially the last one in Harper's Ferry. But I gotta get myself a Mellow Cup here. I mean, it's the best place to get a Mellow Cup. It's the place where it was made. That's cool, they have the rejects. Well, what you just saw in that last clip is in this bag right here. Mellow Cups, which are this very tasty marshmallow inside, chocolate outside. You had the Clark Cups, which I've never tried, but apparently they're chocolate and peanut butter. Then you had the Smoothie Cups, which is a combination of peanut butter and butterscotch. Yeah, Boyer over Hershey any day. As you can tell, I buy way too much candy for my own good. If you like candy, come to Altoona. The Boyer Company was started here and continues to operate right here in Altoona, PA. Speaking of companies that were also founded in Altoona, if you are from Pennsylvania, you will know about Sheetz. Unless you're from Eastern Pennsylvania, then you like Wawa instead. You see, in Pennsylvania, gas stations are more than just places you get gas or get some lottery tickets. In Pennsylvania, there are two major competing convenience store chains. There's Sheetz, if you're from Western Pennsylvania, and there's Wawa, if you're from Eastern Pennsylvania. And these two companies are rapidly expanding to other states like Virginia, New Jersey, Maryland, West Virginia, Ohio, all around the area. What makes them different is that they not only have gas in the convenience store things, they have food that in Sheetz's case is quote-unquote made to order. You can order subs, pizza, sandwiches, get your coffee that's fresh. So Sheetz was founded here in Altoona, and so they have pretty much a monopoly over all the gas stations here. This one in particular is notorious because, well, it's the size of, you know, a grocery store or something. It doesn't look like a gas station. looks a lot larger than one. And it's good timing that I need some gas right now to put in my car. Anyway, let's go inside and check out Super Sheetz. Holy crap, it's a supermarket. Wow, there's a whole kitchen behind. I guess you can touch your screen to order, and then the food's gonna be ordered for you. Yeah, now this is the typical convenience store stuff. But yeah, there's a whole store. Kind of hilarious that there is this fierce rivalry between Sheetz and Wawa. So for example, if you are from Western Pennsylvania and you prefer Wawa, you'd be considered a traitor among all Western Pennsylvanians. And likewise, if you're from Eastern Pennsylvania and like this place more, Sheetz, all the fans of Wawa in Eastern Pennsylvania will disown you. There you have it, Sheetz. So much more than a convenience store. This area behind us is known as Horseshoe Curve. Now, the gradient is too high at this mountain for, in the past, the historical trains to get up. So what they would have to do is go around this curve to get to the other side, or to get high enough to pass the mountain. But this was used throughout all of Altoona's history to get the cargo and the freight on the trains, the East Coast, all the way through the mountains of Pennsylvania to Pittsburgh, and then possibly even the Midwest. So this played a very important historical role, and it's the perfect place to end our video. We've seen some very beautiful sights on our trip. The adventures will only keep coming, even though this one comes to an end. I have some plans for the future, so stay tuned to the coverage project. We'll keep on adventuring, keep on exploring as many places as we can. So here at Horseshoe Curve, more travels to come. I will see you at the next location.